Well, guys, if you can believe it, the C7 Corvette, if you guys remember the flood damage Corvette. Oh, geez. It's right in front of me here, and believe it or not, apparently this thing runs now. I haven't really had a close-up look quite yet. I wanted to wait and do it with you guys. The car looks awesome, though, and this is my buddy Dan. So
how you doing?
Dan and I actually met through the sale and became friends. It's kind of funny. Like, over the years, this isn't the first Corvette I've had, and every Corvette that I've had, actually, with the exception of one, I became really good friends with the future owners. And as you can see, Dan's got pretty good taste. This is another one of your projects, right? Mm-hmm. That popped up in the middle of the
same year
of the Corvette. Yeah, as you guys can imagine, you know, anybody that would take on this project is going to know their way around a wrench pretty good. But I would say, Dan, with you know your way around finding the people that know how to turn a wrench the right way, because this thing was
it's a good option to have in the end when you're trying to do one of these. Is
yeah.
To have people that know what they're doing.
Especially with this thing, man, because it sounds like it was a ton of electrical work, which I know because I got started on it, man, and it was a beast, man. I haven't seen in any of this stuff yet. If you guys remember, under this hatchback here, the lock was missing and everything. I'm assuming they did that probably because they couldn't get in the car.
Yes,
at the big lot or whatever.
They removed everything just so access to get in and out of it in the end.
Yeah, and you rebuilt all that stuff.
Yes, everything. I pulled this whole thing apart. These clips were all missing. These clips were missing. Replaced those clips. There's a light under here for the actual tag light. One of those is missing. This lock setup actually works with the actual keys to the car, so you actually have to have all that hooked up so the car sees it. So, in the end, put everything back together.
It's not 100% finished.
No, it's not 100%. It's a good amount though. It's got the new battery.
Yeah, dude, it's so
all
much
the new
cleaner
things.
back here. I remember this thing the cover was missing. There was rust on it and stuff.
There's still a little cleanup here, but not much. New amp. All the electronics are hooked up. This is the liftgate module. This is the chassis control module. This is the other fuse box. It would seem to be good. There's a couple other little modules. There's some things here. There's a liftgate.
Yeah, I remember there were modules back there too.
Modules back here too. All of them are replaced. This piece, you'd be shocked, is actually hard to find.
Oh yeah, I remember. I knew there had to be something that goes there.
And honestly, it's not certain parts. I'll show you another part that honestly people won't realize that it's actually there because it doesn't show up anywhere. I thought something had to be there, and I couldn't figure out what it was till I found it and went, oh, there it is.
Oh, is this a battery cover?
Yes, and it actually has what's a GM comes with a hook to hook the car to tow it.
Oh, I can see that. You got to get the hook too, man.
Yes, but hard to find though.
I should get that. Did you get it yet?
No.
I'll try to find one for you. If anybody in the comments knows where to get one of those, let me know. Yeah.
It covers everything up nice, so everything sits nice and flat.
Yeah, Dan was just telling me, you know, the way I do my projects, I always, with the OEM stuff, it's like if any little plug or clip or anything is missing, I always have to replace it. And Dan's like that, and maybe even like a step above. So I definitely appreciate all that little stuff, dude. Stuff that most people wouldn't even notice.
Yep. I had to buy all these clips new because they had like a little bit of rust on them, so I bought them all new. This is the piece that I didn't know was missing until I got into it. Look, this is a trim piece right here.
This black piece?
Yes, this comes off.
Oh, I see the plastic in here, yeah.
Yes, what happens is all the screws that hold this back.
Yeah, I remember all that was exposed.
Yep, there's this piece. I didn't realize it was there until I really got into the project and went, what's supposed to cover that?
Yeah, it looked unfinished.
Yes, there was a piece there at that point. Watch.
Oh yeah, it sucks it down.
It sucks it down now. So it didn't do that before. We'll pop the hood, look under the hood.
Dude, so you had to tell me.
Sorry.
Yeah, how did this go, like starting it? Because I know you said the first thing you did was you got the motor broke loose.
First thing we did, we broke the motor loose, and that told us, okay, well, the motor may be good because it spins. So we spun it around a couple times with the spark plugs out of it. Mike, thank God, had put some oil Mother's Marvel.
Marvel Mystery Oil.
Put that
and
down
then
there.
Diesel, yeah.
Mike did a bunch because it came squirting out everywhere. So it was all over the place. We found that out after we actually got it running because it smoked like you wouldn't believe. We turned around, got the motor spinning. We're like, all right, so there's a good chance everything's good. But here's the problem with that. You're still not there yet. There's still 100 things left to do. You can get the motor to spin, but to start, we had keys, but there was no keys that was programmed to the car.
Right.
So it was just piece by piece, get it so far together till you think you can get it to freaking start. It's a process. I'll pop the hood and show you what under the hood looks like.
Dan was calling me like weekly, bi-weekly, if not weekly,
yes,
giving me updates on this thing. And every single time I'm expecting him to be like, oh man, it's fired up, it's started up. And every single time it was like a new thing that he discovered. I'm honestly kind of surprised. It's what, 6 months later?
Yep.
That we are where we are. Wow, man.
I just see it now from before. The intake was off. All this stuff was separated. Literally, here's another piece nobody's going to realize. These.
Oh, yeah.
These cover up this front clip and hide everything. These were another part that I didn't know was missing, and I found these missing.
Yeah, that looks a lot better.
You know, so those, it covers everything up. I'm trying to think.
What is this, Dan?
No, there's nothing there. Nothing goes there.
Nothing goes there?
Yeah, nothing goes there. So it's the only ones that are here, there's one here, 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 and here, and they're covered up for here. The ones that you need actually are threaded. So the rest of them are not threaded at that point. So you don't really need them. Under the front end, there was an air dam that you won't be, unless Mike wants to lean down, there's an air dam that was missing that actually is there now. That was missing. Then there's these side pieces off the, everything GM sells separately. So GM literally kicks your butt on everything you buy. Because you think you're done and you're not. Every time you get the car so far, you think you're done. No, you're not.
Dude, it really does look great, though. I mean, even looking at the engine cases, you wouldn't really guess that this was a flood car.
We put new plugs, new wires. There's actually a gasket between, it's actually an insulator between the intake and the fuel injectors. That one had like a little bit of crack, so I said, forget it. I bought a new one of those. We installed that. You name it. The fuse box cover was missing. I bought a new one of those. It's one of them projects where every time you think you're done, you're not done. I'm still not done.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? I don't know when I'll be done, honestly.
Yeah.
I want it to be right, and then I can take it whatever direction I choose to do in the end.
Yeah.
You know? So, you want to hear it run?
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
To hear it run.
Dude, that sounds great. I don't know if that's because it's got like a little bit of dirt in there or something, but it sounds great. It sounds like it's got mods.
Actually, what I didn't realize, I know it has valves in the exhaust.
Yeah, it's got the Z51 exhaust.
I put in track mode. So it opens the exhaust wide open.
Yeah, you can hear it. I can hear it.
Yes.
It sounds like it's like an exhaust cut out.
Yep.
Dude, that sounds really, really good. When you got on it, it's smoking, but when it's idle in here, it's not smoking at all.
Oh yeah. The one thing I did also that your viewers would notice, this was the stock shifter.
Yeah.
And what we did in the end is I found a Hurst short shifter.
Yeah, that's the way to go, man.
Still a little more work to do, you know. We still got
for sure, yeah. I don't know if you guys remember, the floor had a hole in it. Dan got a whole new floor. It's a replaceable piece, if you can believe that. So he's going to replace the whole floor. I was going to patch it. I would have never thought you could buy this section. I would bet you that these break more often than you think. You know, driving on the highway and something kicks up under the car.
Or what supposedly, from what I read online, was a lot of people try to jack the car up and don't realize.
Oh yeah, they'd probably go right
through
the floorboard.
So it's a very common thing to jack one of these up and jack it up here and crack the floor.
Yeah, so I guess this will just epoxy right in there.
Yep.
That's awesome, man.
So the funny thing is, if any of your viewers have a video of them replacing the floor. I can't find a video of it. I can find information on how to do it, but I've never seen a video of somebody doing it. And it would be nice to know, maybe there's an easy way to do it or a trick. Everything that says it to me is heat guns and grinders and sawzalls is the only way to get it out.
Yeah,
so.
And it might be one of those things where it doesn't fit just quite perfect. Every single one of them's got to be trimmed just a little bit. Or,
yep.
Well, you guys heard it, man. The man needs some help. If anybody's done one of these floorboards, let us know. That's I'm sure that's going to be a fun project.
Oh
and then what was the
God.
other thing? So we just put chocks. He just put a chock under the wheel. You said the e-brake was cut or something?
The e-brake, what happened was at the auction, these have electronic parking brakes. The problem is to manually let it go, you either have to have a key, which supposedly nobody had a key, and there's a bracket that holds the right and the left side together. Somebody cut that bracket. Well, the problem is it separates. And I don't know the way to make a freewheel so I can reconnect that emergency brake bracket.
I wonder if it's seized.
No, it's because it will move electronically. Like our parking brake works, but I can't get it to freewheel enough to hook up.
Right, I mean, I understand what you're saying.
It's just, it doesn't make any sense. I've read it online. It says just go to the parking brake module. There's a screw that no, it doesn't. There's no screw there. There's no screw there. No, there's not. Then they say, oh, all you got to do is hold the brake and push the button down for 10 seconds. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. I've done, everybody says, oh, yeah. It says, if you go to the manual, yeah, the manual is not doing anything. I don't know the trick.
Dude, that's unbelievable, man. It's purring like a kitten.
Runs perfectly. Honestly, the weird.
And that's the same cylinder. He was telling me he didn't do any, he didn't replace the cylinder, didn't replace the rings, nothing.
Nothing.
He just ran that. You forgot, I'm sure you guys remember that one video with that one cylinder looked horrific in there. But
it was all surface. All just surface stuff.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, once it ran, it cleaned itself right up. Honestly, the thing that Mike and your viewers were getting a kick out of, I don't know if once I'm caught in the beginning, Mike filled the cylinders with oil. Well, when I spun the motor, it spilled the oil everywhere out on the exhaust. Oh yeah, there was a cloud of smoke everywhere.
I can imagine.
This thing was smoking up the whole neighborhood. And everybody's like, oh, it's leaking oil. No, it wasn't. It was just burning. It took like 4 hours for it to burn it all off. It took forever.
I bet you there's still some oil in there. Like when you fired it up and there's like a big cloud of smoke. I wouldn't be surprised if, the mufflers and shit, there's probably some residuals sitting in
Yes.
there.
Oh my God. It runs and it drives fantastic.
Yeah, so he took it out for a ride and he said that the clutch was stuck.
Yes. The first thing once it started in this garage. The issue was that the programmer and I didn't realize is we just started. We didn't try to move it. And he's like, you know what? I would probably pull it outside before you tried to move it. And he was right, because I couldn't get it in gear. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. So I pulled it in the driveway, I shut it off, and then I put it in gear and then tried to start it with the clutch in gear, and the car lunged like 3 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, they were probably stuck solid, man.
The clutch was stuck. It let go, but wow. If you were close to somebody, it would have knocked
or
you
next to a wall.
Yes, it would have just crushed itself against the wall.
Oh, it would have been terrible.
Thank God I had the foresight to freaking literally pull it outside and do it outside, because that would have been a freaking hard conversation to explain to my neighbors.
Yeah. Going right through, like across the street.
Why is your car into my car? I don't know.
I just can't get over this.
You want to put the helmet cam on? You want to take it around the block?
Dude, I would love to do that.
Go for it. Seriously, take it around the block.
Dude, this is awesome.
Does the seat work?
No.
Okay.
All right, let's see if I can get in here. All right, we're in.
Roll the window down. We're going to need to back up about an inch.
I got to back up?
Yeah, because I got a wheel chock.
Oh, the wheel chock, yeah. Wow, that's tight.
You're at 6.
Oh, you got the backup cameras working?
You good?
I can't believe how tight the shifter is. Wow. This really is a tight car, man. I remember people saying, when I was even looking at these in the first place, the C7 is not the easiest to fit into. So we've got a little bit of a blind spot on to the right here. With this seat. It feels really smooth, man. Sounds great. I can't believe this.
Guys, sorry about this camera angle. The camera just barely even fit in here on the side of my helmet. But the whole point is to show you that the car actually runs and drives.
Look at the dash, man. 16,015 miles. So we were a little bit off on our guess. I think I thought it had like 11,000 on it or something. That's at least what was on the little report that I had found in the dash when I think the tires were replaced. I'm not gonna do anything crazy with this because, you know, he hasn't finished the car yet. But wow, like I can't believe I'm driving this car right now. Dude, it feels great. I seriously want to get on it. This is incredible, man. I'm almost at a loss of words here. Very, very smooth, dude. It's a lot smoother than my Mustang is, I'll tell you that much. That thing is difficult to shift. All this stuff, and I'm sure he'll have this thing beautiful, man. He really did an amazing job. If you guys saw the series, I mean, this is a major job. This was not the kind of car that you could just sell to anybody. You really gotta know that you're taking on a big project with this thing. And I mean, on top of being a big project, you know, Dan's a business owner, and I mean, he's busy as hell, and still in 6 months he managed to do this. Just very, very impressive. And I'm really lucky that he's letting me drive this and everything, and to be able to continue this project and actually have I don't know if I would say a finale, but, you know, kind of put a bow on it and finish it up. It runs. Yeah, dude. I can't believe it. It runs great. It sounds great. Wow. We're just going to go ahead and take it back again because, you know, got some finishing work to do on this thing, and maybe down the road when it's all finished up, if Dan's open to it, we'll take it to a track or something. That would be awesome. Want me to kill it or let it run?
You can kill it. Come on.
Dude, it runs great.
Dude, runs perfect. It's amazing. I'm still shocked at how decent it is.
I didn't like get on it, but when I got out on street, I just pushed it like a little bit, and dude, it feels great.
Yeah, it's honestly, suspension wise, everything's great. Everything's tight. Brakes, perfect, no problem. You know, there's like literally no issues with it at all.
Dude, unbelievable.
Trust me, this car at certain points mentally pushed me a little bit. I'm like, dude, when I took it to the thing to this moment that still pisses me off is when I took it to the dealer. They were like, oh, we can't talk to it. There's something wrong. The programmer got to work right away.
Yeah, so Dan found a specialized programmer. Oh, I see you still got to put the wheel well liners in there.
There's still a little bit of adjusting with the front end I have to do, so I just let the rear liners out. Like this one too. Like I was telling your viewers, that's the parking brake module right back here.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I see the cable and all.
Yeah. So there's got to be a way to make this free, so it will roll out, so I can get the room to attach it. But it doesn't do it electronically. What I have the manual and it won't do it. I don't know what the trick is. I haven't figured it out yet. I've taken a bunch of things apart and pretty much the car just laughs at me. It goes, nah, that's not it. Definitely one of those cars that literally every time you think you're done, you're not done, and start over again. You know? I found out the horn didn't work by accident. I was pissed off and I was leaning against the steering wheel like, there's no horn.
Oh, what?
Now there's a horn.
Oh, I didn't realize you fixed it. I'm like, oh, there's a.
There's no horn.
Oh, man.
Also, the biggest advice I can give your viewers, if you're going to take the front end off this car, replace most of the stuff that's back there. Back here is the washer pump motor. Replace it. It's 30, 40 bucks. It's a pain in the butt to get to it after the fact. Replace it. If the horn's acting weird, replace it. Because if you're going to take this front end off again, it's a nightmare. This front end, it's not hard to take off.
I remember.
It's hard to line up.
Yeah.
It's really hard to line up. Like, there's so many different, like, people don't realize in a Corvette, you got to technically you should take the wheel off. There's a screw that's all the way here, so you got to use like 2 feet of an extension to get to the screw that's back here. Why, GM? Why? I don't know. Why do you think that's a great idea? I have no idea.
That's like those engineering jokes, like between the technicians and the engineers.
That's the dumbest place to put a screw. It's 2 feet back. It's like over here is actually that same screw. This is a C51 and it's a dry sump. Well, the container of the oil is right here.
Yeah, I remember that.
So is the screw. It's like, oh my God, trying to get to it is like an act of God to try to get to it. You know? It's like literally certain parts of the car are really easy to work on. The front end is not one of them. The front end is not easy to work on. I gotta be dead honest.
Well, everything's so tight, man. Even like just being in the car, like the C7's just a tight car, and I think the seat's up really far. I was kind of in there, like, but it's just real tight.
Biggest misconception with these, which I found out is right and it's wrong in the same sense. The big misconception with the Corvettes or the GMs is that you have to replace every module with brand new if they go bad. Not true. There's some modules that can be reprogrammed, not all of them. Okay, the ECM, I would suggest getting it. You can get a used one, but get it off a reputable person. The BCM, they're cheap enough. Just buy a new one. It's cheap.
How much was the BCM?
The BCM, it's
that was the one that was just completely missing, right?
No,
it wasn't.
Actually was there. And the weird thing about that is when Mike got the car, me and him both thought that was the BCM and it was underwater. No, somebody put a brand new BCM in his car at some point.
I wonder if that was like their shot, the first people that got it to try to fix it, and they were like, you know what, the new BCM didn't work, let's just get it on out of here. But I would think they would pull that too then if they stole all the other modules.
It doesn't make any sense. The BCM was brand new. The reason I found out is because with a lot of these modules, you can get them cloned. So if you have the original, somebody can clone it. But here's the thing. I thought that was the original module. I sent them all away to get cloned, and the guy's like, you just sent me 2 brand new modules. I'm like, really? He's like, there's nothing on this one. So
interesting.
They can program. See, here's where you run into an issue with this. Any programmer, any guy that's going to program your BCM is going to program it to your VIN. That's not the final say-all, do-all. No.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
No.
When I was looking into reprogramming them.
It's not the say. That's not it. When they program it, to the VIN, that's just a step of it. Now you have to have somebody that really knows what they're doing, like a programmer, to get involved, because now he's got to look for the key code. Because the key code right now, that BCM and ECM, it doesn't know it's a car. It's literally somebody's got to take a key fob now and tell the car, hey, this is the fob for it. This is what we're telling the car to start. Because you're stuck at that point. Mike had gotten fobs for the car, but they were not programming the car.
Yeah, those were brand new.
The car gets stuck in theft mode. Is what it does. It literally was the most confusing thing in the world. Finally, I got somebody here that really knew how to deal with it, and honestly, in a couple hours, he had this car running, which was...
Yeah, that's incredible.
The only thing, Mike, that was really incredible is how fast it started.
Just fired right up.
Whoa, whoa! It literally,
wow.
He hit the button for 1 second, and it started immediately. Like it cranked twice.
That means the old fuel in the lines and everything.
That's
what it was running on for the first couple moments.
Still, no, the car was almost full.
He's still running the gas that was in it?
This is still on the same gas from 4 years ago. It's funny. This clip is any of your viewers, this clip's a pain in the butt. Just sometimes just pull it out of the way so you can open and close this. Because
what is this? Is that like a you got
there's actually a pin that comes out here and locks,
the lock
and locks it. I don't understand. Can you viewers please explain this to me? Because there's actually inside here, look,
the stopper, yeah.
There's a stopper. So who's going to steal your fuel? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Why do they lock that? There's no way to get it.
Mine locks too. These crooks, man, I guess they get in there.
I was willing to gamble if the motor was good. The motor's good. I was willing to gamble that the gas wasn't going to totally screw something up. It didn't screw.
There were a lot of rolling the dice, man.
A lot of rolling the dice. The one thing that your viewers should know too is this car, as everybody knows, was a flood car, but the rear and the transmission, manual transmission and rear, never got water in it. Not a drip. They're sealed. They were both sealed. I drained out what was in there. There was not a drip, nothing.
That's awesome.
It's like brand new.
It was just the engine. It was the only thing.
Just the engine got it. And honestly, engine and the exhaust, really, that was about it. I came to the realization that the water came up from behind. It came up through the exhaust, and that's how it got into the motor.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, because that's the only thing. We looked at everything else, took everything
and probably
apart.
one of the valves was down in that one cylinder.
Yep.
And that's why it got in there.
It was coming through the exhaust valve. It's literally, that's the only way it could have happened. Sometimes you got to take a gamble. Sometimes you're going to win. Sometimes you're going to lose.
Yeah. Well, if you guys remember, in the comments, it was like 50-50. There were some people that were just saying, send it, it's going to be fine. And then there were the guys that were like, you should never run that. Take the engine entirely apart and redo everything. And sometimes, man, there's...
It's about, in life, you take gambles. You know, at this point, I took a gamble in the fact to say, okay, I think the motor's good. The worst case scenario is I would have had to rip the motor out and send the motor away.
Yeah.
That worst case scenario.
And just go right to the magnet charger.
Exactly. So honestly, you're better off in the end trying to start it. Because worst case scenario, you're going to pull the motor anyway.
Yeah.
So what?
You might tank some other stuff. But
yeah, exactly. The motor's shot. Okay. You know, you at least now got it running, and you know, okay, it will try to start the car. So you had to get that far anyway.
Yeah, and the fact that you had broken it free and it was rolling over real nice, that gave you a little confidence, I'm sure.
Is to break a motor free. If it's a stick, push it on an incline, and let the actual weight of the car try to break it free.
Yeah, I don't know I forget if we had mentioned that, but that's how we did break it free. Yeah. Which I know a lot of you guys were recommending me to do. Put it in gear and push it, and
that's honestly,
I mean, shit.
It broke free. When we pushed it, we actually did it in this garage, and it sprayed oil all over everything.
Dude, just amazing though. Thanks so much, man, for letting me drive this and come back here and look at it and everything.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome the way that this transpired, dude.
I'm happy the whole scenario, you know. I'm happy you met you. At that point, you've been nothing but some people sell you something, they're like, yeah, good luck with that. Don't talk to me again. You've been totally open, totally willing to talk. You know, any questions I had about, like, from your experience with the car, you were totally open about it. Most people are not like that. Most people are like, yeah, I don't want to hear from you again. Your problem. It blows up too bad, type of thing. You know, you were totally open, and all your viewers should know that. You're a nice person to deal with in person.
I appreciate that, dude.
Now on to the interior. Good luck with that. So there's the fun part.